Okay,
Yeah,
here we aren't.
yeah, yeah, beautiful.
But I meditate every day and usually go out to the forest. And a lot of times it's like that time in the forest just feels like that. I feel like I should be out there for a lot longer instead of a half an hour and a half, and I'm disappointed when the time comes to an end, right? I've been meditating in this room since I've been here.
Yeah,
And it feels like every 5 minutes I'm like looking at it's like, I can't believe how long it takes. Somehow the
yeah,
nature of it's so different.
yeah, yeah. Meditation, when it seems to happen, it starts off by that the apparent meditator being there meditating until it is recognized that there's just no meditator. There's just meditation happening. But yet, in the midst of thinking that seems to arise in this, that there is somebody who's meditating, there's already no somebody who's meditating. That can be seen as just an imagination arising that which is not, or arising from that which is not an imagination, which is already just this everything. So there's already no one who can meditate or not meditate. Yet it's okay if it arises in this that there's somebody who has to meditate, because that's what seems to be somebody is already everything, is already that which is being sought for, expressing as somebody who's meditating. So that's as it is not wrong or right. It's just what seems to be happening. It's beautiful the way it is. It is life expressing as that, and it may be enjoyed as well. But that which is enjoying that is not somebody, it's just life enjoying the meditation, peace, harmony that's arising from that joy, bliss. Everything is this already. Whether it feels as if there's somebody who's enjoying meditation or not enjoying meditation, it's just this already. And this is everything. This has no separation. This is not separate from itself. The doer of things is already not there, even when it seems as if there is a real doer. The sense of being separate from everything is already everything expressing as that sense. So there is already no one here or anywhere who can do anything, who can achieve anything, who can get closer to this, who can feel peace, joy, love, sadness, frustration. There's just this. Whatever that seems to be arising is already this. The desire to do something is already this. If a desire, it doesn't arise anymore for a meditation to happen, that's also an expression of this, which just the way it is, it doesn't require anything to be added. Nothing needs to be added to this because this is whole and complete. It's already whole and complete, even when a desire arises that there should be a meditation happening. It's already whole and complete, even in the midst of somebody trying to get rid of thoughts that seem to disturb the meditation process happening.
Yet,
That's as it is already whole, whole and complete.
yet, yet your experience of the world is very different than mine sometimes. Most of the time, I believe. Maybe there's no you, maybe there's no me, but there's patterns that play out. The patterns that are playing out are different. Somehow, a little bit of control in terms of where the pattern places itself, in terms of whether it can see that ultimate truth or not. Perfect or not. This too is this. Pretending to be somebody who can't see it.
Already
Already.
is the magic word. Yeah, there's no escape. There's no escaping just what is this. There's no one to do just what is. There's already no past. There's already no future. There's already no present. There's just what is. Just this. And this as it is doesn't require anything to be done for it to be what it is, to be whole and complete. Because it's already whole and complete, even when there's a feeling that it's not yet whole and complete. Even when there's a feeling that there's that separation that seems to be experienced. But there's already no experiencer to experience separation. What seems to be separation is already that which is not separate, expressing as separation or as a thought of separation. There is no separation. There was never a separation. Separation doesn't exist. Everything is this. There's just wholeness. There's just everything, which includes a you looking for everything. That's everything looking. That's everything not getting it or not.
Yeah, but it still hurts. Sometimes.
Who's the victim?
Yes. And who hurts?
Yeah. Is there a victim? Can the victim introduce himself? Can the victim be found? Not by referring to the past or going back to the memory, just by looking. Can that victim be found? Because really, there is no past to go back to. There's no memory already. Then where is the victim? Who's the sufferer? Where is the sufferer? Who are you without referring to the past, without referring to the memory? Is there a you? And you is what exactly? If there's no past, there's no memory to refer to, then who are you right now? There's nothing here. There's nobody here. There's no one here. There's just this, which can never really be described. This is beyond any description. This is beyond any knowledge. This can never be known because it's not separate. Who is there to know everything? If all there is everything, then who's there outside of everything to know everything? Is there even outside?
I read this Nisargadatta Maharaj every day also. And says a lot of the same things. But he identifies three levels. Well, he doesn't call them levels, and he would say that, that they're everything and nothing as well, but makes three distinctions when talking to people about it. In terms of an experiential level, there's four actually. There's the body, you're not the body. There's the mind, you're not the mind. There's consciousness, which he explains as being a byproduct of the body and food, much like flame is the byproduct of wood and heat. Consciousness just erupts from the body, but it's not centered in any location. And then above that, he he defines what he calls awareness, which I can only think of as a bad translation, right? Because awareness and consciousness are synonyms, mean basically the same thing. But the awareness, as he describes it, beyond consciousness is everything, is the medium in which everything is experienced. Consciousness is the senses and everything, but awareness is beyond that, the medium from which all that flows and which everything is. Solid block with no time or space, I guess. And the irony is the body, the mind, consciousness, all is awareness already, right?
Yeah.
And none of it is you except the awareness. I just thought I would share that for some reason.
Yeah, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. And this, oh, you can call it whatever. You can call it awareness, consciousness, vastness, spaciousness, boundless energy. It doesn't matter. But itself as it is just everything. It's, can call it nothing, everything. It doesn't matter. God, spirits. And this, as I always say, is always talking to itself. That's awareness, which is the medium of everything, where everything plays out, is always talking to itself. And yet it appears as everything, yet itself as it is already nothing. It can never be pointed at. It can never be known. It can never be understood because there are no different parts. There's no separation. It's just full on this. It's wholeness. It's everything already. So this somehow, it doesn't prevent any expression from happening. If there is a desire to seek for this, that can be allowed to be as it is, without judgment or without suppression, because everything is already an expression of nothing. So there's already nothing here that prevents anything from happening. If there is a desire to seek for this, that can be allowed as well to play out until that dissipates. And it is recognized that there's just this. There's no one here and no one anywhere. To say that there's no you, it doesn't mean that there should be an effort being made to get rid of what seems to be somebody. Because there's already nobody, even when that effort is being made.
Well, to me, it means that there should be an effort to recognize that there's nobody.
Yes.
Because when that
That
happens, other things happen that are good to the illusory self.
Yeah, it's beautiful. It's beautiful just the way it is, and there's no judgment for that. It's okay, because it's still an expression of this. If there's a seeking happening there and enjoyment being felt, bliss, joy being felt, that's beautiful. That's already an expression of everything. Who is there to say that shouldn't happen? That's wrong or right? Who is there? There's no one anyway. So that can freely happen by itself because there's already no doer. Even when it feels as if there's a doer, that's already impersonal. It's not personal.
So in the last week since we've talked, there's been a presidential debate. I still suppose you heard about it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it became crystal clear to everybody that the person who's been running America is not fit to do so. He's just too old.
Joe Biden.
Yeah. And I don't know who is running the country because the country's being run pretty well. Um, Nonetheless, it 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 looks like and Trump has of course been prosecuted for all of his crimes over the last 3 or 4 years. And if he gets elected again, be furious, is furious, and will seek vengeance, testing the very foundation of law in the country, which is not an opinion of mine. It's uh it's what a lot of us see. So I don't know. In the midst of my spiritual exercises, what does it mean that America may have its little Germany day? How should one react? How does one react? I mean, Gandhi, right? I mean, there's plenty of people with a very spiritual inclination that do throw themselves into politics, you know.
Mm.
Hmm.
Yeah, I would say to go beyond it, to go beyond that and see it as it really is, than imagining that or just not accepting opinions of other apparent people, what they say, what they think it's happening, just going beyond what's happening and see things as they are, rather than seeing them or imagining them to be something else. It's
Right.
like when you walk in the forest, looking for a way out of the forest, a very tense conditions. It's very difficult to come out of the forest, in the jungle. But when you fly in like a bird's view, you're able to see clearly the path.
So what you're telling me is basically if I'm at one with what is, then Trump will disappear.
He won't disappear because he's already not dead.
All right, all right. but I won't be bothered as much. I
Yeah,
think a lot of us in the West, I think a lot of us, period, feel a responsibility to be bothered. It's a responsibility to feel bad for Palestine, and I do feel bad for Palestine, I do. But furthermore, there's a moral imperative to feel bad.
is it wrong to feel good?
And there's also the fact that it's not going to affect me as much as it's going to affect, you know, people who've come here from Central America, who, fled their countries because they were messed up, or you know,
Mm.
everything else, poor people, women, etc.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you know, some feel good for Palestine, some feel bad for Palestine, some feel good for Israel, some feel bad for Israel. This uh this is how this expresses itself, you know,
yeah,
in the story. It expresses as people who are not happy with a certain country. Some they wish that the war should stop. Some they wish that the war can just simply continue. You know, but there are no people who are wrong or right. There's no wrong or right. It's just what's happening because everything is already empty. These bodies are empty. It may be seen that these bodies are getting obliterated when the bomb explodes. Children being shot at, young children looking for food, not getting food. There may be a compassion there arising, trying to change that situation, donating, people donating. That's also good. It's wonderful. But that doesn't mean that there are real people who are suffering, real real people dying. You know, this as it is just a
but
uh,
that's this too. This is experiencing being shot as a child. This is experiencing being hungry. This is experiencing the bombs going off. It experiences all of it, and we
yeah,
experience it. You
yes,
know, and one could argue, many argue that that the pain in the world, and when there's flare ups of pain and parts of the world that may be disconnected from you, we all feel it. It affects the entire world. You know, but as Nisargadatta would say, if nobody died, we'd run out of space. You know, it's just part of it. It's part of it. Scrap and born again. Yeah. This this new illusions.
yes. Yeah, this is a dream world. This is a dream world. Actually, it's the same dream as when you sleep. and dream at night that you are somebody, or you are a certain woman, or you donkey, dream as a donkey, or as a crocodile. Yeah, it's the same dream, but there's no entity that wakes up and realize that it has been dreaming. They can be just waking up, and this wholeness recognizing itself that it has never been separate, or it has never been an individual that is experiencing life. It has always been wholeness. It has always been everything, imagining that it's something.
So I went to the opera last night in Italy.
Sorry?
I went to the opera.
Oh, Accra.
Oh my God.
What?
It was 3 hours long and it was so amazing. And Cosi was so amazing. There was always about 200 people on stage, singing these amazing voices. And I was sitting up in a basket looking over the orchestra. The orchestra was just really amazing. And, all these people singing together and separately. And it was this elaborate story written about 100 years ago when the Italians were sort of interested in Asian culture. So it takes place in China and uses a lot of bizarre sort of Chinese sensibilities with bells and stuff integrated into the opera. But then this modern guy had done it and made it. There was like this huge circle of a moon that was projected into a disc that kind of floated above them, and it would change between like skulls and flames and the sun and everything, depending on what was going on. And the costumes were amazing, and it was and it was just really, really intense. 3 hours. It's all in Italian, right? And if you want, you can look at this little screen that tells you what the English words are. But who wants to look at the
Oh,
screen, right? Because it's just amazing. So the effect is there's a 3 hour story that you really don't understand. but but the passion, I mean, it's obviously this convoluted love story, um, devils and side characters and deception and there's so much passion and it just there's this crescendo where even though you don't know what's going on, you feel it. You feel it.
yeah.
It's like even though you don't even know the story. And yeah, I kept on thinking of you. Because it just felt like uh God's play. I mean, the Italians, they just, oh my God, they just go overboard. The costumes and everything and the vocals, and it's just so dramatic. It's so entertaining. They've been doing it for 500 years or more.
Yeah. They are
Yeah.
very creative.
Oh, so amazing. And it's all just for that.
Yeah.
And of course, there has to be villains and there has to be bloodshed and there has to be turmoil before the love comes together. And, it all has the symmetry of life, you know, ingredients for a good story.
Yeah, I love how you express that even though the words were not understood, but the presence, the feeling behind that performance was amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So It's the same as just this, even words, even before words may arise, that's presence that is always there, unchanging, you know. It is already there even before any question may arise, thinking or seeking. It's just there, the presence itself. Um, I saw one post on Facebook, somebody talking about Ramana Maharshi, that during his time when he used uh, to talk to his students or people who were coming to listen to him, he would just come in the that building or whatever that was and just sit quietly for 2 hours or 1 hour and never say anything.
Yeah.
So here that is seen as just powerful, very powerful, because the presence itself is enough just to it speaks volumes even
Yes.
before words can be spoken.
Yeah, he was more, he was more like Christ in that he would speak in metaphors and riddles, you know, to try to get people to look back, when he did speak. And sometimes he wouldn't say anything. People would just ask him questions. He'd just sit there. I guess he didn't like the question or he just thought they should think about it or whatever. But a lot of times his responses, it feels like they were so much they were so far beyond the folks that were listening to them.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a lot like this Nisargadatta Maharaj, but the Nisargadatta Maharaj was a crank. He was just a cranky, I think just a naturally cranky guy. So he just would like, you know,
Yeah.
which makes for good reading, but I don't
Shout.
know. Pardon?
I heard that he would shout and scream and
Yeah.
like,
Ramana's more like you. You would just sit and smile, I think.
yeah, the characters may seem to be different, but it's still this expressing. Even the behavior of the body may remain the same, may never even change. You know, or some habits may still go on.
Yeah, Nisargadatta smoked. He was a cigarette salesman all of his life, sell little Indian cigarettes and smoked till it killed him.
Really cute.
People would ask him, like, why are you smoking? It's like, his body doesn't exist. It's funny.
And so he enjoyed it, I guess.
Yeah. And he said the same thing, actually. He said some habits are left over and it makes no difference.
Yeah, the body itself may drop at any time, may fall, may just collapse. Body is nothing. There's nothing special. But when there is that sense of being separate from everything, it may seem as if it's something special. Of course, the body, you can take care of the body. It doesn't mean that the body shouldn't take care of. You can take care of the body, take a bath, exercise, eat well, but yet it's nothing special. And this that is not dependent on the body for it to be what it is. This is already what it is with or without the body. So it doesn't mind when the body collapses because it remains as it is, even when the body is gone. Because it's already there, even before the body may appear, even before the body is conceived, it's already here. So it doesn't mind if the body is destroyed, doesn't matter. So there's no fear of death because there's nobody to die. If there's an imagination that there's somebody here, then there may be a feeling, there may be a fear of death because something doesn't want to
Stop.
stop. If there is a fear of death, then death may be looked at to see clearly that who is there, who's afraid of death, who is it, what is it that is afraid of death? Can that one be found? It is me. I'm afraid of death. Me as what exactly? As the body? Is it the body that is saying I'm afraid of death? Or something else?
Well, there's consciousness here that won't stop. Whether that consciousness is me or not, or whether I project it there, you know, there's a certain consciousness that will stop. Maybe consciousness never stops, you know. Maybe consciousness is like energy, it always just transfers. Um, Memories be lost, but memories don't really exist anyway. But maybe the consciousness is not mine specifically. There'll always be experience. Yeah. So what about the end of the world? As long as we're on nice cheery topics like war and
Uh, yeah, but here it is seen that there is no world, but the apparent world, as it is referred to as this ball, round ball, an asteroid may strike at any time, then the world will end.
yeah,
Just like that, so-called the world. But there'll always that there'll always be that unseen, uh, unknown
whatever it is.
witness, whatever it
Weakness.
is, as we say. Not exactly a witness, but something seeing that the world has just exploded. When you close your eyes, there's always that seeing that the eyes are closed. Blackness. In. So there's always that seeing.
Seeing will still be
even
there at
when
the end
we
of the
don't.
world.
Sorry?
The seeing will still be there at the end of the world, you're saying.
Yeah, the seeing is always there. The seeing of another story beginning, the seeing of a more refined story, subtle story going on, the seeing of just simply uh, boundless energy as it is without bodies, different bodies or planets, just blackness. This never ends. This was never born, so it never dies. Not a man or a woman. Yet it may express as a man, as a woman in the dream, but the one who's dreaming can never be found. There's no one dreaming. It's just this dreaming to be different individuals, different planets, different stars, time, day, night, somebody trying or not trying. It's just a dream. This is already deathless. This is the unborn. It has never been born. So it's already the case. It's already here. So it doesn't die. Dying or being born can be seen appearing and disappearing.
Sorry. I gotta jump up real quick and get the battery. Sorry. Ah.
Okay.
Oh. I gotta figure out. You were nice and awake this time.
You said I was awake?
You were very awake, yes.
Yeah, it's still around 7.
Maybe I
But
shouldn't.
when it's 1 o'clock,
Pardon?
when it's 1 a.m. in the morning, then it's a different case
Maybe I should
altogether.
start calling you at a different time. I don't know. I suppose it'd probably be the polite thing to do. Hmm. Okay.
Yeah, that and birth is just a story. You will never die.
You mean it never stops?
Sorry?
I said, shit, you mean it never stops? No escape, as you say.
Yeah, no escape. No escape. The Charles character may seem to stop, but life beyond that, uh, life behind that will never stop. Life expressing as Charles will stop expressing as Charles, but it will still continue. Because even before that body was born, it was just life expressing itself as other things, parent things. Then the body was born, then started to express as Charles, experiencing itself as Charles, seeing how is it like to be Charles, to live in America, to run a business, to have a family. So when that story ends, then it will remain as it is. To recognize that it has never been Charles. It plays the game of remembering and forgetting itself that it's 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 always been itself, being somebody and forgetting itself as that somebody, thinking that I'm only Charles, only Ngozi. I'm not I'm I'm not anything else but this character. That's how it plays the game of remembering, forgetting. This as it is not a thing, yet it may appear as things, different things. It is neutral, yet appearing as the opposites, man or woman, black or white, top or bottom. So it's beautiful. It's beautiful.
We'll see how the dream plays out when Trump is president. Then we'll talk about whether it's beautiful or not.
Yeah, there's no one looking behind those eyes already. So there's no one to follow it. There's no contraction already. There are steps to take. There's no journey. There's nothing to fix. nobody to fix anything. There's just this already. That which is being looked for is already just this. That which is being looked for is already that which is looking.
You are what you seek.
Yes, yes, it's already the case. Always been knocking from inside.
What'd you say?
They have always been knocking from inside.
Right.
They've always been yourself as everything.
All right, I'm just gonna write that down.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's so simple, even beyond the word simple. It is that which is effortless and obvious. It doesn't make any efforts. It's making an effort may I seem to appear in it as it, but itself as it is not making any effort. It's not trying, it's not thinking, it's not looking, it's not doing. It's just is. It's just what is. What is doesn't make any effort to be just what is. There's no effort there. It's effortless and obvious to itself. But the mind chatter may seem to say so many things. Maybe if I can do this, maybe if I can go to the left, go to that cave, climb the mountain. The mind chatter, just making an example, it may seem to say so many things. But this is already the case, is already that which is not doing anything. Yet it expresses as the mind chatter. Yesterday, today, tomorrow, the world, this and that, people, you know, is seen as just I don't know how to put it. I don't know what's the word. Like the best chipping, chip, 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 chip. To this, when this is seen like is seen as like that it's just
Reflexive. Reflexive, I think is what you're thinking of.
yeah, yeah, neither meaningful. This is neither meaningful, meaningless. It's just is. So the apparent mind can never know this. When it is said that this can never be known, it can never be known by the mind. It can never be understood because the mind has that tendency to try to understand it, to get hold of it, to grasp it, and to possess it, keep it from being lost. But this it can never be lost because it has never been found. It's already the case. It's already nothing being everything. From that heart space, it is seen that everything is this. The heart doesn't make any efforts, but the mind, the apparent mind, seems to make any efforts, seems to make an effort. But the heart is not doing anything. It's not trying, it's not thinking, it's not doing anything. So the mind can be seen trying to get this, not getting this, looking for this. But there is that space where nothing is being, nothing is happening. You know, there's no looking, there's no searching, because that space is already this, also expressing as a mind chatter, as an activity. So everything is seen from that heart space already. Separate self is just a thought constructs. So it doesn't exist. It's separate from this. Yeah, you can, and when the attention is kept from, or when the attention is kept in that heart space, then all is good. Everything is beautiful. But when the attention moves up in the mind, then there's a lot of work there to be done, trying to figure out what to do, looking for ways to get closer to this. But when the attention is kept in the heart, there's no effort. Everything is effortless. Things are seen as they are.
It was like the opera last night, I guess, there was a part of it that I think even if you spoke Italian, you wouldn't be able to understand what the hell they were talking about. Because they were singing it and, they were going fast and probably had a little bit better idea, but it's music, music and theater to speak directly to the heart, That was what the original writers were doing. Beyond the story. Such amazing music. So amazing.
It's beautiful. Never recorded it.
Huh? Oh, it's
You didn't
Puccini?
record it?
No, you can't record it.
Oh,
They don't let you record it. I was thinking if I can try to find snippets of it. I mean, I think they put it on Italian TV. I mean, I think it's obviously a huge deal. Um, I think it's one of the biggest opera houses in the world. I think there's another one in Venice and, you know, some speckled throughout Italy, but I think it was amazing. I mean, it was like seeing Star Wars or something, man. I mean, these sets, they built buildings on metal rollers and it was amazing. Uh,
oh. I love opera.
yeah. Yeah, if I find some, I'll send it to you.
Yeah, I would love to see.
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna let you go. I'm getting tired. Thank you so much. Tomorrow
Always
I give my
welcome.
presentation. It's not opera, but tomorrow I give my presentation. Hopefully I can sway some people. We'll see.
All the best. All the best.
Thank you. I'll talk to you next
Yeah.
Tuesday.
Okay, no
Okay,
problem.
bye-bye.
Bye.
Okay, now I have to figure out how to stop it. Oh, here we go.